Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to another turkey pattern test here. And I've got a really interesting one today that I don't really quite know how it's going to perform, to be honest with you. It's definitely a setup that we have not seen on the channel in a good long while, so I'm really interested to see what it can do. But first up, these are the loads we're going to be running. I'll take one out of the package so you can see it better. These are a Salt Creek Custom 2-ounce load of number 4 lead shot here. Now right off the bat, we have not done a whole lot of lead 4-shot patterning on this channel. We've tested these one time before, so if you have not seen that video, I'll leave the card above for it. But generally, if you've seen the last few tests we've done with some of these Salt Creek lead loads, then you probably already know that I am not personally a big fan of the 4-shot. That has nothing to do with the Salt Creek shells. It's just that that particular shot size I have not been able to really get good results from. But I will say that in the first test we did with these, this is probably one of, if not the best, number 4 that I have tested. Now, could that change with today's setup? Yeah, absolutely. It could be amazing results. It could be terrible results. I don't know. But as for that setup we're going to be running them out of, I brought out my 1187 Premier again, but I threw in this choke right here. This is an old school Colonial Arms RCTK2 choke. It's their extra full 675 constriction choke. So it's definitely a little bit more on the open end for a turkey choke. But this being number 4s, they might seriously like something like this 675. Now, from the little bit we tested with that choke a long time ago on the channel, it did show some promising results, but we really have not put it through its paces yet. So with these being number 4s, I'm really curious to see what this 675 can do, if it helps or hurts these loads. But either way, I've got the target set up over here at 40 yards. I do also have the chronograph, so we will run them across the chronograph. So let's take you guys down and get you set up at the target. We'll shoot them, we'll take a quick look at our chronograph numbers, and then we'll go see how they did. So let's head over here and shoot them and see what they can do. Okay, so that shell gave us 1,209 feet per second across our chronograph. With these being 4s, I expected somewhere 1,100 to mid 1100s range. So they're definitely a little bit faster than what I would have expected, but still nothing that I'm too concerned about blowing the pattern wide open or anything like that. So let's go down here and see how that old Colonial did, being a little bit more open constriction with these number 4 shot shells. Alright, so now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and this, I gotta say, is pretty intriguing. Now, yes, right off the bat, that particular choke did shoot high. That's not the choke I'm zeroed with or anything like that, so it just kind of is what it is. But as you can see, he is still a dead bird. We do have one in the neck there and one kind of half in the brain maybe, and one more down here in the spine. But this might just be the tightest or best or most even, at least, looking number 4 pattern I've ever gotten personally. It is high up here, but you can't really argue with that kind of a core though for a number 4 shot. Now if you back up and look, we do have some of these down here that are probably considered flyers in most people's books, but for what this gave us up here in our core here, I would definitely say that these number 4s like the more open constriction for sure. So I am really pretty impressed with what these 4s gave us. And that old school Colonial choke too. For being a 20 or a 25-year-old choke, that's not that bad at all for what I would use it for sure. But I can't really argue too much with that kind of performance right there. For a number 4 lead load like that, I'll take that pretty much any day of the week for sure. Okay, and here's our wad out of that particular shell. And as you can see, it's pretty much perfect. There's not a rip or a tear or anything in this wad. There's nothing down in there as far as shot goes or buffer material or anything like that. It's about as perfect of a wad as you could ever ask for. So definitely nothing super out of the ordinary or anything here. And clearly, I definitely think this wad did its job for us in this particular test. No doubt about that. Alright, well, what did you think about that pattern? I gotta say, I am definitely thoroughly surprised here. I was hoping that that 675 would give these 4s a little bit better performance, Not that these performed terribly, because they definitely did pretty decent in our first test, but I think that 675, a little bit more open constriction, is definitely what these things like. Plus, that old school Colonial choke, I'm pretty impressed with it, and I definitely want to bring it out here and do some other testing with it if you guys want to see it. That's definitely the best pattern that I have gotten out of any number 4 shot, personally anyway. So I definitely think we're on the right track with these shells. But I got to give a big thank you to the guys over at Salt Creek and Keith. They're great to work with. I'm not paid or sponsored or anything like that to tell you anything. But if you like what you see, clearly they make a good shell, so go over there and check them out. And for those of you asking about custom hand-loaded shells and stuff like that, they can probably do it for you as well. Just ask them, and chances are they can probably load it for you. But either way, leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this load. I'm definitely pretty surprised, that's for sure. But on that note, I've got a bunch more testing I want to finish up today, so I'm going to jump back to it. So I'll see y'all in the next one.